Hello, hello! It's another episode of the icipici series of the Hungarian Living podcast. This time, we are focusing on learning Hungarian. Well, hello! Welcome to the Hungarian Living podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Szabó-Vász. Our goal is to discover, celebrate, and share Hungarian heritage and encourage you to do it too. We'll touch on food, travel, history, music, language, genealogy, and share stories from our guests. We're glad you're here. This is a podcast where we'll explore Hungarian heritage in a variety of ways. We'll introduce you to some fun people and organizations who love their Hungarian heritage and share some great resources with you so you can get connected to your Hungarian heritage in a deeper way. So whether you know a little or a lot about being Hungarian, this is the place to be. Hey there, this is part 3 of the icipici edition of the Hungarian Living podcast on getting started with Hungarian. Last episode, we discussed several things to think about as you are considering studying Hungarian. But don't get frozen into a state of inaction by all of these options. It's important to know your why, what motivates you. And it's important to know how you like to learn. How often do you like to engage with the language? Also, when can you study? That helps you decide if you will fit into a class. If you are really sharp at 3 a.m., it might be hard to find a study buddy or a class. The most important thing is to start somewhere, knowing you might start and need to switch to a different method. You have to find the mix that works for you and your learning style. But start. Start with the alphabet. You can't go wrong learning it because you need to know it. And even if you think you know it, you could probably use a little refresher. So let's talk about the Hungarian alphabet. It is a bit unusual, but it is pretty predictable once you understand how it works. There is a link to our Hungarian alphabet project in the show notes. It is so important to really know the alphabet letters and the sounds that go with them. There are 44 letters in the Hungarian alphabet, and they each make a unique sound. In English, we have 26 letters, and we have many, many more sounds than that. So you can get excited because each letter in Hungarian has a specific sound, and it says its specific sound each and every time. There are no silent letters. Phew! Isn't that a relief? This alphabet resource is more than just isolated sounds. There are words associated with it and letters that are in typical combinations. So lest you think you have this all perfect, well, unless you have a lot of experience with the language, you likely don't. So I bet you might benefit from a little review. And there is some vocabulary that you might not know. So check out the link in the show notes or go to our Hungarian Living YouTube channel, subscribe, and look for Learning the Hungarian Alphabet. It is right there on the front page. And have a little fun getting to know or refreshing and refining your Hungarian. Next time, I'll talk about some of the language learning resources I have tried, and you can tell me which ones you have benefited from. If you are interested in learning Hungarian, it might be because you have Hungarian heritage. If you do, you might want to take a listen to our icipici series on getting started with genealogy. Grab a notebook and check out episodes 50 to 57 of the Hungarian Living podcast. And thanks for listening. Do you want to learn the Hungarian language, Hungarian history, or learn how to research the Hungarian side of your family? We've got you covered. Check out all our learning opportunities, as well as meaningful books and gifts at thehungarianstore.com. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode of the Hungarian Living podcast, please share it with someone you know who loves their Hungarian heritage. If you own a business and would like to talk about sponsoring an episode of the podcast, please contact us at podcast@hungarianliving.com for more information. Special thanks to Stephen Chichek and the Animal Cannibals for the show music. Check out our show notes for links to resources mentioned in this episode. If you have a question or comment, we'd love to hear from you. We'll catch you next time.